Prince Harry is having such a nervous breakdown that a picture of his young niece celebrating her birthday, lovely young woman who he no longer has anything to do with because of his appalling treatment of her parents, sends him into some type of meltdown. The biggest meltdown he's feeling right now is as a result of his erasal by his father, King Charles, from Highgrove. Yes, this was before the appalling behavior. This is now. Do you notice the picture that's missing from the wedding? For very good reason. I reckon Camilla probably chucked it in the bin, actually. Harry wants his children to have the very best education. The friend added he has retained his closest friendship group of confidants from his days at Ludgrove and Eton. He wants that for his own children. Now, again, there's a lot of propaganda being put out there. Can I just tell you, he hasn't maintained the friends and the confidants from his school days, because I know some of those guys and they find his behaviour truly reprehensible. They find the way that he treats the British royal family truly reprehensible. So can we please stop this propaganda that Harry is still in touch with all of these old mates? No. Most of them think that he is a scumbag and feel like the rest of the British public. I mean, P. Diner, royal YouTube sensation, by the way. Hello, welcome. Great to have you back on Outspoken. Sorry, I'm just so into this story.
Yeah.
You know, I actually agree with the royal grift on this. Like, what is Richard Eden trying to suggest here? What is he playing at? And actually, everyone needs to see through what this is. Total propaganda from Team Harry and Meghan, full of lies, attempting to do down William and Catherine by describing them as barbaric, attempting to do down William and Catherine for putting out a lovely picture of Charlotte. I mean, it's just nuts. And also, I think totally misrepresenting where the king actually stands in regards to Harry today.
Well, I think there's just a lot of confusion because Harry is confused. There is a lot of stories going in so many different directions. No one really truly knows. But I think from the experience that Harry is having right now, I mean, I can see him wanting to have his children have experiences that he had growing up. So I do see that there is some problems with, the future of Harry's children. What is happening now, I think, with the media is just there's just so much going with their lives in terms of, what people are saying that they said, what the reality is. And I just think it plays to the fact that, Harry's life is a mess and he is confused and his children are confused. They will be essentially later as they get older because none of this will make sense to them because their lives have been, I think, hidden from them. Part of their life has been hidden from them in real time. Like right now, they're not going to experience a lot of these things that, Charlotte and the other cousins are experiencing. So it's really sad to watch it actually happening because we know that these children are experiencing a very a secluded life that is not going to give them the full life that they should have as real royals, living in the UK. So, you know, that's how I see it. It's just a lot of confusion with everything because he's confused.
Yeah, indeed. But the thing is, Pete Diner, it's like, does he have any idea who his wife is? Like, I have said for a long time, and we have even had this conversation, P. Diner, and you know all about this given your time in California. There is no way in hell that she is letting the children be privately educated in the United Kingdom because all of a sudden she would potentially lose that ability once the marriage breaks up to keep the children in California, which is effectively her biggest bargaining chip in terms of either what the divorce settlement is or what type of agreement they come to. So it's just not happening. And I just find it so delusional that Harry will have these conversations with his friends. And I'm sure he does have a lot of dreams, but it's like she's not allowing that.
No, Megan is smart. She knows that that's going to be her ticket to never having these children because they will then become like forever in the UK, essentially. I mean, that would be their whole life, essentially, would be going away to boarding school, and she will not have any power. She's giving up her power if she allows this to happen. So, no, there is absolutely no way that's going to happen. I mean, I even have a personal story where something very similar happened to me, and that's what I was thinking. I'm not going to allow my child to go visit in another country where his dad is because I will lose my custody rights. So, yeah, Megan is not going to allow that to happen. Mm-mm.
100%. Then we come to the dig from Charles. And Pete Diner, don't tell me this is not deliberate, okay? Because they know the symbolism of these moments. And it really makes me think right back to when I revealed the story of Megxit, and it has become folklore now. But remember, I was being briefed by people very, very close to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle that one of the final straws in terms of their reason to decide to leave was when they saw that the late Queen Elizabeth, during her Christmas message that year, didn't have the picture of Harry and Meghan. And well, it was Archie at that time, wasn't it? It wasn't
Yeah.
Lily, but didn't have the picture of Harry, Meghan, and Archie on her table. That was one of the things. So this is symbolism, and it's got to her. Of course, this is not a coincidence. This is absolutely symbolism, and it backs up what I have been reporting earlier in the show, which is that this delusion that Harry has that things are great between him and Charles is increasingly out of touch with the reality of how Charles actually feels.
Yeah, I mean, come on. They are able to erase you. That's what they do, erase you from history, erase you from, looking like you're still a part of the family. Absolutely, they did that intentionally because they're sending a message. Why would they try to not do something like that? Look at everything that Harry has done. The royals have no voice. This is the one way they have a voice is through these symbols. And, taking away a photo allows them to show, how they feel about something. I mean, of course, if you don't really have a way to come out and refute or rebut things that is said about you in the media, the one way you do have it is by placement of photos. And I think absolutely this was done intentionally. And I think it's great when they do things like that because they should have this way of showing, how they feel about things because they can't otherwise with their voice or with, other ways. This is a great way to show how you feel, right? So I don't know why they do that. Like, why would they try? I mean, I guess they want to show themselves as being a magazine that's not trying to be too, combative or whatever, but just, look, just say what the reality is. We're all thinking it. I
And
don't
this
know
is why
why
the
they do
mainstream media
that.
is just dying, P. Diner, because no
Yeah.
one wants their soft soap PR'd version of events. It's like we want the unvarnished truth. And the unvarnished truth is that things are really bad between Harry and Charles at the moment. And he clearly has removed the picture for very good reasons. And it is highly symbolic.
Royal tensions are once again making headlines, and this time, Princess Charlotte has unexpectedly become part of the conversation. New reports and royal commentary have sparked speculation that Prince Harry is deeply frustrated over recent developments involving the young princess, while King Charles is said to be focusing increasingly on the working members of the royal family. But what is really happening behind the palace gates, and how much of the latest drama is based on fact versus media speculation? Stay with us, because today's story has everyone talking. Before we begin, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and let us know in the comments. Do you think Prince Harry and the royal family will ever fully reconcile? For years, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's relationship with the royal family has been one of the most closely watched stories in the world. Since stepping back as senior working royals in 2020, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex have built a new life in California while continuing to make headlines through interviews, documentaries, and public appearances. Meanwhile, King Charles III has focused on shaping the monarchy for the future, with Prince William and Princess Catherine taking on increasingly prominent responsibilities. Against this backdrop, every royal appearance, and every absence, becomes a topic of intense discussion. Princess Charlotte has grown into one of the most popular young members of the royal family. As the daughter of the Prince and Princess of Wales, she often attracts significant public attention during major royal events. Some royal commentators believe Charlotte represents the future of the monarchy alongside Prince George and Prince Louis. Recent media coverage has fueled speculation about whether growing attention on the Wales children highlights the royal family's long-term focus on its direct line of succession. However, there is no verified evidence that Princess Charlotte herself is involved in any dispute. Most of the discussion comes from commentators interpreting broader royal developments.
Look, there were some astonishing pictures that came in overnight, P. Dana. Not sure if you're a big football fan, but Prince William watching his beloved Aston Villa, and he was just absolutely going wild. Right? The glamour and prestige of our monarchy shatters when royals behave like this. You're not agreeing with him on that, P. Dana?
No emotions. Right? Like the man
I was thinking, Pete Diner, do you remember the late Queen when she used to watch her horses?
The horses,
and
yes.
And the Queen Mother. And no one was saying, oh, she's taking away the dignity of the monarchy. Do you, like, the Queen would be,
right,
be
I
like
remember
that, you know, like,
like, oh,
yeah,
right,
with their binoculars and...
Yeah.
I think it's really out of touch, people criticizing William for this. I think people actually love seeing William like this.
We love this. We want to see our future king show emotions, real emotions that we too can relate to. Okay, this makes him human. This humanizes this man. Stop making him like someone that has to be so well contained to a stiff upper lip. This is a new day, a new time. You know, stop it. Okay, that's ridiculous.
Now, I also think Harry is just so desperate at the moment, P. Diner, to do anything possible to overshadow William. And I've got another example. But before I come to it, because it relates to David Attenborough, I think we just have to give a huge big up to this man who, remember, was very close to Queen Elizabeth II, and today is marking his 100th birthday. And it's very sad to me that his good friend, the late Queen, didn't get to this milestone. We really hoped that they would get to it together, P. Diner. And then who would have sent the late Queen the letter? You know, the famous letter that everyone receives. So that's the first thing I want to say. Just amazing, David Attenborough. Absolutely amazing. 100 and still going strong. It is just incredible. But you know, P. Diner, there is a bit of a battle amongst the royal family for proximity to David Attenborough. Of course, his loyalties were always with the late Queen, but he has also done events like here he was at the Netflix event that was attended. It was a very rare event, actually attended by King Charles, Prince Harry, and Prince William. And this was a big deal, P. Diner. I remember reporting it at the time because King Charles wasn't going to attend that event because it was a Netflix event. And at the time, The Crown was running the most recent series, which was very negative about him in terms of the marriage to Princess Diana. So they came to an agreement between the palace and Netflix, which was that no stars of The Crown would attend that event. And as a result, King Charles went. And of course, we got those incredible pictures of the three men whose relationship was really faltering at that point with David Attenborough. So I'm just making the point, P. Diner, there is a long history with David Attenborough and the British royal family. But I'd say he's least close to Harry, actually. But Harry has decided to try and get himself some good PR for David Attenborough's birthday. This wasn't something that was asked for him to do.
Yeah, I would say that Harry definitely took a shortcut here because this was not in his voice. You know, Harry just wants to do things for reasons that are not authentic. And just listening to what he wrote there just seemed not like him. And, you know, like I said before, Harry is just confused. He is just trying to do things to get attention. I think he's very, I think, upset about the life that he has right now, the way it's going for him. And he wants to just remain relevant. And even if it means putting something out there that is not truly him speaking, he's going to do it because he's a lost Prince. He has doesn't even know what his voice is at this point. I mean, one minute he's writing in spare, saying all these horrible things, about his own family, and next we're supposed to believe that you have this heartfelt tribute to a man that you really don't know that well, and it doesn't even sound like you. Like this, Harry is so like off the mark with everything that he does. And I think it's his continued attachment to Meghan. And so reading and looking at what he has done here, it's pathetic that he wants to try to make himself appear as if he's doing something nice and kind. But at the end of the day, it all falls short because we know who you are. We see the history that you have created. And that is completely not who you are, Harry. And it continues to show every time you try to make yourself relevant. It's terrible.
Now, Pete Diner, this is, got a lot of anger. We broke this story yesterday during the Royal Uncancelled After Show with Paula Frolic Uncensored, and she said she just wants Andrew to stay under house arrest, that effectively he shouldn't leave Wood Farm at all, and she has no sympathy. And then we had on our other main show, you can actually watch that highlight now, Pete Diner, on YouTube, Di Davies, the former head of Royal Protection, who also had absolutely no sympathy for Andrew and is absolutely certain that he should not be receiving taxpayer-funded security, because in Di Davies' view, Andrew should actually be in prison right now awaiting the results of this investigation.
Hmm. Yeah. You know, while listening to this story, I was thinking, yeah, this man has done some things that he needs to atone for, and he hasn't. He essentially being on house arrest is not really a true punishment, but he should have to just stay in his home, not leave. And I think if he wants to have any kind of protection, what has he done to try to show paying back to society? What has he had to do to show reparations in a sense? Like, okay, can he do something to I guess warrant any kind of protection for him? I think Harry should, I mean, sorry, Andrew needs to stay away in his home. Don't leave. And if this man wants to leave, he should have to do something for the community, for the victims. He hasn't done anything. How can a man just act as if his life is just now going to be a quiet life without ever having to atone for what he has done? And I think that's the part that needs to happen if he wants to get any kind of protection. I mean, I don't know how the taxpayers would feel long term about something like that, but this man needs to do something for the crimes that he is being accused of. Um, I think this is what happens when when you do things like this. You have people, crazy people, they're going to try to hurt you. I mean, even if you hadn't done, I mean, look what happened with the Queen. I mean, and when at Buckingham Palace. So yeah, Andrew needs to do something to atone for what he has done to get some kind of security. But I think he gets what he gets right now because he's doing nothing. Just what, acting as if nothing happened. He didn't do anything, right? I mean, this man has paid no real price, I don't think. I mean, just going into a quiet life is not really paying the price for anything.
Some people would love it.
I don't know, how do you feel about that, Dan? I mean, I
Yeah,
think
I
he
mean,
should have
the problem is,
something.
I said this yesterday actually, like, I'm absolutely a huge believer in innocent until proven guilty, but there's a huge problem, P. Diner, in that there was an establishment cover up over the whole situation with Epstein and Andrew. So if
Mm,
people hadn't demanded this type of justice, I would say, though, the worry that we've got is that I don't want another death in this case, because I think Jeffrey Epstein certainly didn't take his own life. I don't believe that for a single second. But the
yeah,
fact that he's not around anymore has actually made it a lot harder to bring other people to justice. Do you see what I mean? So
yeah,
I also
yeah,
think it's not good for anyone if Andrew is killed by a madman, or if he does mysteriously die. I don't think that helps the situation. So I
yeah.
think I think you can look at it in both ways. But in terms of taxpayer funded security, absolutely not. Charles is giving a lot of money to it. But look, P. Diner, there is other big revelations, and this is nuts, actually, because it's the Daily Mail going against their own report to reveal all of Meghan Markle's plans, which include a new threat for a royal autobiography, which she has been secretly recording on her phone for years, even when she was in the British royal family. So we've got to get into all of the details of this. It's extraordinary stuff.
Another major talking point is King Charles' approach to leading the monarchy. Since becoming king, Charles has emphasized continuity, stability, and public service. Royal experts frequently suggest that the palace is concentrating on senior working royals who actively carry out official duties. Because Harry and Meghan are no longer working royals, their reduced presence in official royal communications has prompted speculation from some commentators. Supporters see this as a practical reflection of their current roles, while critics interpret it as evidence of an ongoing family divide. The palace has not publicly described this as an effort to erase anyone. Some headlines claim Prince Harry is upset by recent developments. However, it's important to separate verified information from speculation. As of now, there are no confirmed public statements from Prince Harry supporting many of the dramatic claims circulating online. Royal commentators often interpret silence, scheduling decisions, or media reports in different ways. That doesn't necessarily mean those interpretations reflect what is actually happening behind closed doors. The latest reports have once again divided public opinion. Some believe Harry and Meghan deserve privacy and the freedom to build their own path. Others argue the royal family is right to focus on its current working members. Social media has become a battleground for these differing viewpoints, with every headline generating thousands of comments and debates. One thing remains certain: interest in the royal family continues to be enormous around the world. Whether these latest reports point to growing tensions or simply reflect media speculation, only those inside the royal family truly know what is happening. For now, King Charles continues carrying out his constitutional duties, Prince William and Princess Catherine remain focused on their public work, and Harry and Meghan continue pursuing their own projects in the United States. As always, we'll continue following the latest developments and separate confirmed facts from speculation whenever new information emerges. If you enjoyed this update, don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment with your thoughts, and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest royal family coverage.